team. And so what would I like to see from Jalen Hurts? I'd like him to throw the ball. I would like him to be asked to throw the ball. Because everybody remembers how last year started for the Eagles, right? They were 2-2 in their first 4 games. He threw 30 or more passes in all 4 of those games, averaged 33 pass attempts per game, and they went 2-2.
You see how misleading something as simple as that could be? Because it's like, well, see, they asked him to throw the ball a lot, and they only were 2-2. That's not a good team, right? That's it's like an 8-win, 9-win team. It's not good. Except for the fact that against the Falcons, he threw a perfect ball to Saquon Barkley to ice the game, and Saquon Barkley just dropped it. They would have been 3-1. You understand that? And even in that game, against the Atlanta Falcons, he threw the ball 30 times and completed 23 pass attempts, averaged 6.1 yards per attempt, 1 touchdown. That 1 interception was at the very end, which wasn't a great decision by him. I grant you that, but, it was definitely more of like a prayer situation. Only took 1 sack, had a QBR of 86.3, an 88 passer rating. Oh, and not to mention that he had 13 carries and rushed for 85 yards. I guess that's just nothing. Had no A.J. Brown. Covey was his second most targets, second most receptions. Was his wide receiver 2. Saquon Barkley was wide receiver 3 essentially, with his slippery hands. And the defense literally gave up a game-winning drive to Kirk Cousins, and like it was nothing. And it's so interesting because Jalen Hurts now gets tagged with a loss for that, right? Like, he's so bad. Yet then Patrick Mahomes threw the ball 39 times, only 217 yards. Hardly that special for someone who's throwing the ball 39 times. 5.6 yards per attempt less than Jalen Hurts. 2 touchdowns and an interception, and it wasn't a prayer interception. It was a bad throw. 87.2 rating and a 59.1 QBR, and only rushed for 17 yards and no rushing touchdowns. And he actually had Rashee Rice there and Travis Kelce, but his defense held them to 17 points, and the Philadelphia Eagles gave up 22 points. And yet somehow that now adds as a win. Hooray! Chiefs are 3-0, and the Eagles are 2-1. And now, going to that Bucs game where they lost, we're just going to pretend like A.J. Brown wasn't there. Devontae wasn't there. Lane Johnson wasn't there. Multiple O-line had to come out. I'm not sure if Cam Jurgens even finished the game. You had multiple defensive players going in and out of the lineup because it was 125 degrees out there. You got muffed punts. I mean, like, it was an absolute disaster of a game. The defense was atrocious. They were exhausted. I mean, Baker Mayfield looking like Tom Brady out there, throwing to just wide open players, missed tackles. And again, when you have muffed punts, and now you have the defense out there, immediately they're exhausted now because it was so hot. Saquon Barkley went on a couple runs and had to be checked out of the game. I mean, it was sweltering. And we're just going to pretend like, oh, you know what? Jalen Hurts was just in a shootout and they asked him to throw the ball and he just couldn't keep up. Like, that wasn't the story at all. Nobody was open. They had nowhere to go with the ball. They had no wide receivers. He had no wide receivers. His defense could not hold the Bucs down at all. Special teams, muffin punts. 120 degrees out. It's just kind of insane. It really is. I mean, it's so bizarre just to use that so narrowly specific example too of 2024, because I've already even explained away how losses like that could happen. But Jalen Hurts, in 2022, when he was asked to throw the ball 28 or more times, he went 10-1. The one loss was in the Super Bowl where he had a record-breaking performance. One of the best Super Bowl performances of all time. Scoring the most points in a Super Bowl loss. In 24, when he was asked to throw the ball 28 or more times, 5-2. In 23, when he was asked to throw the ball 28 or more times, 8-4. So, what are we trying to invent here? Like, that's what I want to know. And it's so interesting because it goes even more here.
Now, if A.J. Brown got hurt and Jordan Mailata got hurt and Saquon Barkley got hurt, and then all of a sudden he started passing 40 times a game and they were winning, then that would increase. But no one wants that, and they.
Now it has to be 40 times a game. Now he has to throw the ball 40 times a game. Well, Matthew Stafford team got banged up, and he was asked to throw the ball 40 sometimes. How'd that work out for him? Against the Detroit Lions, had to throw the ball 49 times, lost 26-20. He was asked to throw the ball 45 times against the Green Bay Packers. He lost 24-19. Finally beat that really great Seattle Seahawks team 26-20, threw the ball 44 times. Then he lost to that amazing Miami Dolphins team, threw the ball 46 times, lost 23-15. Threw the ball 36 times against the Philadelphia Eagles. Puka Nacua was back, baby. Lost 37-20. So weird. You have your quarterback right here who's asked to throw the ball a lot, had some banged up roster or whatever. He not look no good. And how about this? Ask Matthew Stafford to be a leading rusher in the NFL. Jalen Hurts, first-year starter in the NFL. 784 yards, led the NFL. Led the NFL in touchdowns as well. 784 yards. Jalen Hurts, 2022, top 4 in the NFL. And he missed a couple games with injury. He only played 15 games. 758 yards. Clearly would have been number 2 in the NFL. But still number 1 in our hearts. And touchdowns. 2023. You know, and by the way, those other years, like, obviously, he didn't have Saquon Barkley. Jalen Hurts, top 3 in the NFL. 602 yards in rushing. Number 1 yet again with 15 touchdowns. And that was in a year where he was also passing the ball a ton. 2024. Jalen Hurts yet again top 3 in the NFL in rushing yards in this year where they apparently didn't ask him to do a lot because they didn't need him to do a lot. Yet they needed him to be the 3rd best rushing quarterback in the NFL and score 14 touchdowns. Yet again, leading the NFL in rushing touchdowns. I want to know why we have these types of quarterbacks who they say, well, you got to throw more. I want to see you throw more. Why don't we ask the throwing quarterbacks to run? I want to see Jared Goff rush more. Hey, they had a running back go down. You know, I need to see him pick up the slack with his legs. Matthew Stafford, I need to see him do more with his legs. Baker Mayfield, I mean, like, I don't understand. We need these quarterbacks. I need to see them do more with his legs. You don't got a run game, Justin Herbert? All right. Do it with your legs. Why don't we bring that same energy? Because we just say, no, well, what do you want him to do? He can't run. That's not his game. But then with Jalen Hurts as the quarterback, we're like, oh, he's a great running quarterback, but like, nah, it doesn't really matter. We don't really want to talk about it. I also want to know why we can emphasize the mobility and the other dimension of quarterback play when we talk about Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, and Patrick Mahomes. And to a degree, when we even compare Joe Burrow to that group of 3 quarterbacks, we hold it against Joe Burrow for not being as mobile as those other 3 quarterbacks, myself included. And yet with Jalen Hurts, we want to erase it from him. Because apparently, also, when Jalen Hurts rushes for like 750 yards, in our minds, we try to tell ourselves that he did like 750 tush pushes or something. It just makes no sense. It really makes no sense at all. I mean, it's actually kind of crazy when you think too, like when you have him up there, and it's like he's got more rushing yards than Josh Allen, more than Patrick Mahomes. You know what I mean? Like it's like other like legends here. And yet we kind of just act like it's nothing. I mean, Jalen Hurts had 602 rushing yards in 23. Patrick Mahomes had 389. We're just going to pretend like that's nothing? I mean, Jalen Hurts was asked to rush 157 times. That is a workhorse. We got running backs that aren't getting that much. And he needed to pass the ball. He was top 11 in pass attempts. Just a little shy under top 10. And was number 1 in rush attempts. We want to act like that's not crazy? Come on, man. That's just absurd. It really is. We just want to take away everything from this man. And it's just like, why? It just makes no sense. Jalen Hurts threw the ball 538 times. Okay? In 23. And like I said, was a leading rusher. Justin Herbert in 2024 had 504 pass attempts and was not the leading rusher. Does that not mean like anything then? Like doesn't this like kind of reduce this idea of people like not needing Jalen Hurts or whatnot, or that he doesn't contribute enough to said team? It just really is kind of crazy. You also realize that Jalen Hurts was just a little shy under 4,000 yards and easily could have hit 4,000 yards, but he didn't finish the game in 23. You know, he dislocated his finger and whatnot, had a bad knee. And then in 24, since he missed a few games, when you average it out, he would have been top 10 in passing yards, passing touchdowns, top in the league in rushing yards, rushing touchdowns, top 5, top 6 in passer rating, in completion percentage, like all top numbers. And it's just still not good enough because you need Jordan Mailata to go down. It's like, okay, I guess that's a new one. Saquon Barkley can't be there. Okay, well, he wasn't there for Jalen's entire career until this past year. And I guess AJ Brown needs to go down too. And it's like, okay, I guess so. It's like, and you need him to have a new offensive coordinator for the 50th time in his NFL career. It's like, or in his football playing career. It's like, okay, sure, makes total sense. Do you want his defense to be awful too? Does his defense have to give up like 30 points per game? That too. Okay, cool. I need to know what the exact parameters are for that to be the case. Like I really do need to know, because I can't keep up with what specific metrics we need to ensure that we can confidently reach the conclusion that Jalen Hurts is like a pretty good quarterback. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Philadelphia Eagles? Just being too good, man. They're just too good. And they're just carrying Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is, you know, he's like one of those little kids in a wagon with like their mommy and daddy just pull him along. That's who Jalen Hurts is. He's just in there, just looking around, doesn't have to worry about nothing while his parents do all the work. Man, Philadelphia Eagles are daddy. But let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. It's whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.